What is up, sixth grade? Mr. Uy here, and Emily. Currently, I am probably at home at the moment taking care of this little one right now. But here's definitely what you need to make sure that you handle in my absence and getting started on the next part of our unit. So just remember on Friday we took a quiz and it sort of wrapped up the first half of our unit, which was adding and subtracting fractions. Now today we need to lay the groundwork.
Hi, Daddy.
Hi. We need to lay the groundwork
Daddy.
for
Hi,
the next part of our unit. So let's see what you need to handle for today and make sure that you do your business to the best of your ability. So let's take a look. Now, just as always, even though I'm gone, the expectations are exactly the same. You got to make sure that you handle your work, ask questions if you have them from the sub for sure, and be productive today. A lot of these tasks are assigned to our weekly agenda, so it's definitely a good chance for you to get ahead and make sure that you're handling your business and be respectful for sure. Number one thing is be respectful. I'm trusting you guys to make sure that you represent yourselves well and me. So just make sure that you handle your business and you get as good of a sub note as you got last time for sure. If you're using the earphones, like always, make sure that you replace them in the packages here so that they don't get tangled up. You did an awesome job last time, so I'm not expecting anything less from you this time. So again, handle your business and make sure that you're working as productively as possible. All right, so the agenda for today is only 3 things long. So number one, you're already doing, you're watching my instructional video, so good job. The second thing are 2 ed puzzles that I want you to warm up your brain with and to get a sense of what the next part of this unit is going to be about. And then last but not least, either starting or finishing some my HRW work that I posted, that I'm going to post today for sure. So make sure that you do it in this order. Don't skip around because it's not going to make very much sense. Okay, Mama, hold on. It's not going to make much sense for you to do things out of order. So number one, watch the instructional video, then watch the ed puzzle, and then last but not least, start the my HRW work. And that should be your best bet for getting everything that you need done today in class. Even if you don't finish the my HRW stuff, you'll have some time this week to make sure that you finish it because it is going to directly relate to what we do for our weekly agenda. So this is your list. Make sure you're handling your business. All right, so just in case you need it, on the next slide, you're going to have a little tutorial for how to find and sign into EDPUZZLE. The link's going to be posted on Classroom, but just in case you need a little refresher, I teach you how to log on the next slide, so let's check it out. All right, so once you guys log into the EDPUZZLE, so when you go on a Classroom, click on the EDPUZZLE link and it should take you to a page that looks like this. The first thing that you're going to do is you're going to hit Login in the upper right hand corner here, and obviously click login as a student. Now once you do that, just make sure that you hit sign in with Google and it should sign you into your class. Now when you do this, you'll see that there'll be 3 videos posted for my class. If you look for my classes, I should be in there, so it should say Math 6 or 7 depending on what level you're in. And just click on your class and you should see the 3 videos that you could potentially watch today. So for your warm-up, just make sure that once you get to EDPUZZLE, you're watching at least 2 or out of 3 of those videos. You could watch all 3 if you want because they are kind of interesting, but it's just to warm up your brain and get you used to this digital format for today. So make sure you've got your headphones in, make sure you're not distracting others, and make sure that you're being as respectful as possible with my earphones if you're using them. So try your best with this EDPUZZLE. Obviously, just have some fun with it. So watch those 3 EDPUZZLEs and you'll do just fine. Okay, so I realized after rewatching the last slide that the instructions on there are kind of wonky. Not the instructions for signing in, but the instructions for watching the videos. Just make sure that you understand that there are 2 videos that you got to watch. One that deals with the brain teasers and the second one titled GCF and LCM. So there isn't a choice for 2 out of 3 for this time around. It is definitely, sure, here you go. There's definitely just those 2 videos to watch today, and you'll see them I'll make sure to put the appropriate due dates on them so that it makes sense which ones that you have to watch. But definitely the top one that you got to make sure that you handle that'll help you out is the GCF and LCM one. These count as the UI tasks for the week, and as I said before, they map directly back to what we're talking about for this week. So definitely make sure that you handle your business and watch that video for sure. So those are the two videos that you got to make sure that you watch. All right, so after the Edpuzzle, head straight on to Clever and find the Houghton Mifflin MyHRW site so that you can sign in and do the interactive student lesson as well as the Are You Ready for This next part of the unit. This is definitely an important step for today because it helps you to try and understand where we're going to head forward, and it gives me a chance to front load some information for you so that you're ready for the lesson. So try your best to start it and or finish it in class, but you'll definitely have time during the week to make sure that you put the final touches on these two things. Again, these directly connect to some weekly agenda items that we are going to be covering. So the more work you get done today, the less work you have for the week. So again, make sure that if you're using the headphones that you replace them after you're done listening to the videos and such, and make sure that you're being productive and not distracting anyone as they're working through these portions of the lesson. So on the next slide, just like before, if you need a refresher on how to find the information for these two things, watch the next slide because I go over finding it on Clever and making sure that you're able to log in. So watch the next portion if you need that help. All right, so after you're done with the Edpuzzle, what you're going to want to make sure that you do is navigate to Clever to find the next step for today. Now, after you've looked for your Clever, and for me, Clever is in this little tab on my on my browser here that says CUSD. You should have a similar tab, or you should already know how to navigate to Clever. So when I click on the Clever icon, I'm taken to this page, and all I need to find is the icon that says MyHRW. Now notice I have a lot more resources than you do, but you should look for the one that says either MyHRW or Houghton Mifflin Math like I have here. Now once you click on this, what should open up is your student dashboard. So check out what your student dashboard could potentially look like. Again, just realize that mine's a little bit different because I'm in teacher mode here. Let it load up. All right, so this is what it should look like. So underneath assignments, you should see both of the assignments that you have for today. So again, just make sure that you're going through those assignments in the particular order that I go over next. But as you're going through it, what it looks like is like this. So if I click on one of the assignments, say I click on this one. So I open up one of the assignments that I have, and in this case, this is called the Personal Math Trader, and this is the Are You Ready Module 3 that I will talk about in the next slide here. Now there's only 8 questions, and if you're confused on any of the questions, the cool thing about this program is if you go over to the side here, you'll see that there are all of these different resources that can help you solve the problem. So it'll give you a step-by-step guide, even if you're still confused about it. A view example means that it'll go through an example for you, and you can definitely use those resources to your advantage to do as well as you can on this thing. So my expectations for this first thing is to definitely make sure that you're as prepared as possible. So definitely try your best here. Secondly, if you're going over to the interactive lesson, you get an interface that looks like this. This is really cool because it gives you sort of an interactive lesson. And again, when you're playing the video with the headphones in, just make sure that you're aware that these guys pop up in the middle of the screen. For instance, this one, let me turn down the volume here. This one is the interactive video for this lesson. So you watch your way through it, and it's a good way to get started for our next unit. As you're going through it, the only thing other than that I need to make sure that you're clear of is when you get to the end here. So as you're going through this lesson, moving forward with this arrow button, when you get to the last part of the lesson, you're going to need to practice. So as I practice, it will show up in the middle of the screen.
Now try your homework on your own with the Personal Math Trainer.
There you go. Here's a Personal Math Trainer. So in order to start this, it might be kind of confusing. Once you get to the end, you can start by clicking this button here. So in the middle, it'll give you an option to click the middle whistle, and then it'll get you started, okay? So since this is the first time that we're using this material, try your best with it, and definitely help people around you if you see that they're confused about how to use it, okay? But end of the day, you should finish both of those pieces or get close to finishing both of those pieces before you leave, because they are part of our weekly agenda. So let's take a look at expectations for this My HRW thing. Okay, so hopefully this helps you log into it and find what you need. The My HRW work, the expectations are that you start and or finish those 2 items. Try your best on them for sure to give me a genuine understanding and to see where you are in starting this next part of the unit. And do it in this order. So make sure you do the Are You Ready portion first and then the interactive student lesson. So the agenda for today, just to go right through it. Number 1, finish watching this video. Number 2, head to EDPUZZLE and watch those 2 different videos. And last but not least, head to My HRW and start and or finish those 2 resources that I posted. So again, just make sure that you're being respectful, handle your work, and work as diligently as possible through this period to help alleviate some of the workload that you might experience this week. So I'll see you tomorrow or Wednesday, depending on when I have you. Yeah, see you tomorrow. And definitely work as diligently as possible. So until next time, I am Mr. Uwe signing out. Peace.